Welcome to New Thought Tuesdays, social media madness. Having a good day here on New Thought Tuesdays with my partner, Rich Smith. I'm Dean Regan, RSCP, and today we're talking about from reaction to creation, mastering your inner state of lasting peace. Oh, Richard, I need to be here today. I want to be here today. I have things to share. Hey,
Oh,
Richard,
that's great. Hi, how you doing? Inner peace.
inner peace,
Peace. The peace that
mastering.
passes understanding, huh? That
Yep.
peace that you get when you feel the calm and the connection with the divine within you. Not outside of you, it's within you.
Inside you or me. So
Yeah.
today we're going to be talking about how to shift from emotional reactivity. Oh my God, it's happening to me, to spiritual creativity. How is this happening for me? I'm curious. What is being created in this moment? And we're going to talk about beginning with the end in mind, and using your feelings to guide your possibility. We're also going to be talking a little bit, if we have time, about the mental equivalent. We'll get to that more in the inner circle, which, if you'd like to join our inner circle, go to newthoughttuesdays.com, click on I'd like to be reminded, and you'll get the link of a reminder, a couple of emails a week to remind you when we're meeting. And then also, if you'd like to be a member of the inner circle, it's our membership program where we take this information and we embrace it with love and specific tools. You can also go to newthoughttuesdays.com and click on I'd like more information, and you'll set up an appointment with Rich. So, Richard.
Hey, finding that inner peace, emotional reactivity.
Yeah.
God, I did it this morning. I started getting emotional with my wife about, this whole political situation that's going on, the government, the take over the government. And she just like, why do you want to wake up and hit me with this stuff? What are you
Yeah.
doing about it? I don't see
Yeah.
you out there picketing.
Yeah. Well, that idea of
Emotional reactivity.
so I don't think, Rich, you're not the first person that's told me that you have a particular point of view about what's going on in the United States of America's political situation. And I
Mm.
suspect when there's one of us, there's more of us. That how, and as a matter of fact, I had someone reach out to me this week specifically about how do I, quote, deal with, unquote, this political, quote, situation, unquote. And the conversation was pretty reactive, completely having a divine desire to know the truth and embrace the truth, and feeling separate from the truth, which one of the things that we learn is that you cannot be separated from the truth. You can appear to be, and you can put up little roadblocks, but the truth is always present. And when you take into account the feeling, you're taking into account your presence of truth. You get to sit and be aware of that while you allow those divine callings to come up to determine, as you were talking about a little bit earlier, Rich, what is mine to do?
Yeah.
It's also good to know what is mine not to do, but what is mine to do?
It's like, what are you called to do? What are you feeling? Thoughts lead to feelings, lead to emotions, lead to actions. And so, what are my actions? Well, I got to go within the feeling. What am I feeling at this moment? What
Yeah.
emotion am I having? This morning I had an emotion of reactivity. I was reacting to what I was listening to on the news rather than going within and knowing that everything is okay, everything's unfolding in perfect order, you know?
And taking that feeling of separation, there's problem here, and being aware of that. Okay, great to know that everything's falling in place, everything's happening in good time, it's all in divine right place, blah 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 blah. It's just nonsense. It's just words until you bring it into your inner awareness
Yeah.
and can start to involve your sense of faith and trust. Because when we're in fear, doubt, and worry, hey, if so, for instance, if you're feeling hatred and you want to go out there and hurt people, we're not suggesting that you go out because you feel hatred and hurt people. We're suggesting that you be aware of what the spiritual truth is. So if there's a divine, if there's a passion there's anger that is bubbled up inside, what is your divine desire right there? And once you identify what your divine, what is it that you really like? What would you like to have happen? And pay attention, because I was talking to somebody on one of my groups this week, and they said, well, I would just like to see so and so not be anymore. I'm like, well, none of this is ever about one person. It's just not.
No.
It's about race consciousness, collective consciousness, and love.
Yeah.
How can we find love? And for you, Rich, you just turned, and there was your wife. There was your wife. She was filled with love. She had a few encouraging. Well, I'm not sure they were encouraging. She had I guess we would call those not divine desires. She had a few divine demands of you,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is, hey,
Yeah.
knock outside your spiritual head and say,
Yeah. Knock it off. Yeah, I gotta go in and apologize when we're done.
ah,
Happy wife, happy life. You know what they say.
is
Oh,
that one of our New for Thought Tuesday phrases? I'm not sure we brought that up
yeah.
before.
You were talking about, your neighbors being different than you and wanting to go out and fight with them and stuff. And the bottom line is spiritual idea that I would like to point out is that we're all interconnected, that we're all connected to the divine. It's working in and as and through each and every one of us. We're all individualized emanations of the divine, and therefore our brothers who we don't agree with, that we disagree with, uh, we're still connected by spirit. And so we've got to pray for their souls. No, no, we've got to just come to that understanding that we're all just one. And the idea that the problem right now that's going on, I believe, in our country is that there's separation. There's us against them. And that we have to come to the spiritual awareness that we're all connected. We're all as one. We're all created in the image and the likeness of the creator itself. And the only difference between us is that we have different ideas, but we got to learn to respect each other's ideas and to work with them.
And see what the intention of the idea is. I love what you just said about pray for their souls, which well, that comes from a certain religious background, okay? And so I love that. That's terrific to know the truth about the radiance of each one of our creative souls, to know the truth, to not pray to fix or heal the soul.
Yeah.
The soul does not need fixing or healing, people. The spirit, whole, perfect, complete. It's good. But for us to know the truth and to at the very least wish well for, to have a divine desire that something is working itself out right now. And it's terrific. It's terrific to look out to the paradigm of the political situation. But don't start there. Start here. How are you feeling about you? How are you feeling in this moment? What is your desire for yourself? What is your calling? What is there for you to do? Who do you wish to be today? These are all the questions that we get to ask rather than lashing out in reactive terms, lashing out in fear, doubt, and worry, and however that comes out in anger or condemnation or declaration of badness. That's reactive. I want for me, and therefore for all of us, to be responsive, to be mindful, just be mindful of the love that is present and the love that can be present, be manifest even more.
Yeah.
And then listen within. What is mine to do? And something's going to come to you. Rich, you have this experience with the coalition. Rich is part of the infinite filmmaker, which is his metaphor. He's bringing forth this coalition of people who are dedicated to creative service as creative artists in the entertainment industry. And it's not going away. It's a divine desire that Rich has.
Yeah, that's what you were talking about is you know, what am I meant to be doing here? What am I supposed to be doing? And go with your emotions. What are you feeling? My emotions got away with me this morning. And I got reactive rather than going within. And I went in just a little while ago to apologize to my wife, and she was meditating. It's like, okay, that's what I should have done when I woke up this morning. I should have gone right into prayer and meditation instead of just opening the news and getting all riled up.
I'm glad you brought that up. Okay, so I'm going to attribute this to uh, Dr. Mark Vieira. I don't know that it started with Dr. Mark or not, but it's where I got it from. I love this idea. As far as the news goes, Dr. Mark would always say to us, he would say, the news is a magnificent opportunity for prayer. You can go into the news, turn down the volume because you know what they're talking about, and sit. And as each news story comes up, bring it into prayer. Bring it into prayer. Another person was asking me, I feel compelled to really be on top of my notifications just in case, there's some kind of political issue or some weather issue. And I said, well, okay, but what is your intention there? Are you coming from a place of fear, doubt, and worry? Or are you coming from mindfully being connected to your environment? And the person was coming from, in my assessment, a sense of fear, doubt, and worry. Just in case something happens, I really need to know what's going on. So I want to make sure. And all of these pop-ups are coming, and they're popping up, and they're not providing any information that is valuable.
Yeah.
So what kind of information are you taking in? With you, Rich? You have information. Your wife just kind of goes, "Hey, there's some information for you." But seriously, we've all got various information coming in.
Yeah.
When are you collecting your information, and how are you responding to it, or
Yeah.
are you reacting to it?
Yeah.
So this idea, when we say begin with the end in mind, I was looking at that, and I thought that was a science of mind statement, but it seems to come from the whole Franklin Covey success paradigm. But the idea to begin with the end in mind, Richard, how is it that you want to be
Mm-hmm.
with any situation that is coming up in your life that you find challenging, or with any situation that is coming up in your life which you find uplifting? How is it that you want to be in each of these? We can begin with the end in mind. I want to feel, sense, and know this connectivity, as you were talking about, Rich.
Yeah.
I want to feel harmony. My metaphor is living in concert with life. So I go in terms of music. I use music to inspire me, to uplift me, to calm me down, to center. I love to use it to center me, and I also use it as a metaphor. It's like, okay, is this harmonious or dissonant? And if it is dissonant, I'm curious as to how this dissonance is working into that whole symphony of my life, because my life is filled with all kinds of different things. And just because it's dissonant doesn't mean that it doesn't belong.
And music, what is dissonant?
Okay, so if it's dissonant, it just sounds, it doesn't sound good. It sounds, we call it pinchy or very tight. It's like a half tone, and it sounds off. When
Mm.
it's in harmony, ba 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 ba. It's part of the chord structure. What is the chord structure that you're creating in your life? Your goals, your visions, your ideas, are they harmonious? Are they always harmonious? Are they sometimes dissonant? Have you been involved in something? For instance, today I came home and I said, you know what? I'm feeling a little bit sad, confused, and a little bit upset. And how am I going to go into New Thought Tuesdays that way? And I was asking myself that question legitimately. How am I'm going to go in with authenticity. I'm going to go in recognizing I am responding or reacting. Not sure. I think I'm responding to situations that I'm experiencing. And then Rich and I started joking before we came on, and that helped me.
Yeah. So how do you look at something that's going on that's dissonance, like what's going on politically in the environment here? What's going on with my wife this morning when, I started, with the whole fear, doubt, and worry of what's going on politically. There's all that dissonance going on. How do you bring it to harmony? How, like,
Well,
hey,
okay, how do you bring it to harmony? If you're sensing dissonance, first you question, am I responding or am I reacting? Reacting is often quick, it's sharp, it's emotionally charged. It it tends to be more stressed. If you're responding, you're being mindful of, oh, hey, I got a sense of what's going on. I'm aware of how my feelings are. Oh, look, there's a frown on my face. There's some emotion there, or a tear, or a glint in my eye. Some emotion there, and and once you're aware, once I'm aware, then I focus on God qualities. Because when I go to God qualities, truth, love, wisdom, intelligence, creativity, and I get curious about how is God unfolding in this moment, and it goes back to what question am I going to ask? How is this happening for me? How is this happening for me? How is this sadness, this confusion? And it's interesting because we talk about in some of our notes when you're experiencing a sense of sadness or confusion in your life. Like I'm just playing into our notes, it would appear. Be mindful.
mhm.
So to get out of that dissonance, the dissonance metaphorically for me comes from that belief in separation,
Yep.
limited thinking that I certainly have sometimes, things that frustrate me, that anger me, that I want to be a different way. Take a deep breath, Dean. How's this happening for me? I just asking that kind of a question with curiosity, not how is this happening for me, but honestly, with integrity, asking how is this happening in a manner that is contributing to life with creativity. And even if it says, I'm not seeing creativity here, let's go to another place where I do, then it's happening for me. And that brings more sense of harmony into my experience.
Yeah. Yeah. How is this happening for me? Um, for me, yeah, I just feel like we're all evolving into our greater self. That's what all this dissonance is about. It allows us to evolve into our greater self. And so whenever something goes wrong in my life, or it's chaotic, or it's just not serving me in a certain way, you have to look at it. I have to look at it like it's allowing me to evolve into my greatest self. This morning, getting upset with my wife about the political situation, all of that, should have gone right into meditation, should have gone right into prayer, and just recognized that I'm one with this divine presence, creating in and as and through me, not withholding anything. All my needs are met. Instead of that fear of, oh, it's going to be taken away from me. I'm going to lose my Social Security. All of this stuff that comes up that the media is focusing on when and if I go within, I know this to be the truth. You talk about the truth. I know that if I go within, And I just recognize all of this stuff, that there's one power, one presence, one life, perfect, whole, and complete. That life is the life of God. That life is my life now. And that's just not words. Feeling that and understanding that, then all of a sudden, all of that other stuff just goes away. And now you're going to attract the good stuff. It's like, it's like I remember the Kung Fu movie, TV show. Remember that Kung
I
Fu?
never watched it. Keep going, go. Keep
Oh, they
going.
put him in a pit of snakes, and he, being a kung fu mind over matter, walked through the snakes, and none of the snakes, rattlesnakes, harmed him. And he got up out of the pit, and they were all shocked over it. But it's mind over matter. It's what you focus on. And if you focused on the fear of being bitten by a rattlesnake, you would have been bitten by dozens of rattlesnakes. But it's, so to me, that's what it's all about. It's all about going within, recognizing the truth that there's nothing really wrong right now, that everything is perfect. It's all unfolding perfectly. My life is good. Look at the stuff, sit in gratitude. Look at the stuff. I look around me and I go, oh, look at this. I've got my computer. I've got a nice little microphone. I got my teacup here, and I got Dean Regan on New Thought Tuesday, got the inner circle, and just focus on that and realize, none of that stuff is affecting me right now. And it won't affect me in the future because I'm not going to go there in mind, body, and spirit. I'm going to just focus on the good in my life, more good will come. Focus on the peace in my life, more peace will come. Focus on the harmony in my life. Focus on the abundance in my life, and more abundance will come. Whatever you focus on expands. And I think that's the place we need to go whenever we get caught up in that dissidence, so that, you know, things are going wrong. Things aren't the way I think they should be. They're exactly the way they're meant to be, for you to grow into your greatest self, for you to have that spiritual awareness. And for me,
So,
it's what drives me into prayer.
so with this,
Otherwise, I wouldn't pray.
this experience you had with your wife this morning, I would remove the should from it, because I believe that it unfolded in perfection as you worked through. Yet again, this is not the first time you've done this, and it's not like one and done in Science of Mind or in New Thought teachings. It's a continual, it's a consistency. You have been using this experience to work through something in your spiritual awareness. And so perfection is unfolding,
Yeah.
regardless of what your wife might have said about it. Different topic. Human
Uh,
topics, divine topics. Oh, speaking of divine topics, we're about to go into the inner circle, and I want to talk about the difference between mind over matter and divine mind over matter. And I want to talk about that in the inner circle. If you guys want to be part of the inner circle, who wouldn't want to be part of the inner circle? Go to newthoughttuesdays.com and click until you find Rich Smith and talk to Rich about becoming a member of our inner circle. It's a membership organization where we dive into this stuff deeply and with great passion and love and wisdom, I might say. So shall we go? Anything before we go, Richard?
no, I can go pray and meditate after this and get back in alignment.
Excellent choice. Excellent choice.
Off into my
But first,
greatest self.
into another spiritual practice of of the inner circle.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll see you next Tuesday.